real?
No. She's still here.
I love you so much. I love you.
Andrew. Andrew, can you hear me?
My name is Edward Daniels. My initials are on the side. There's a dent in the barrel from when Philip Stack shot at me. You're not gonna with my mind on this one, Doctor.
Then blast away, because that's the only way you're ever getting off this island.
What if everything you thought you knew about yourself was built on a lie? Sometimes the hardest choices are the ones we refuse to make, because letting go feels like losing everything. Shutter Island is a masterclass in exploring when it's time to stop fighting and start accepting. But let's talk about how this film can actually teach us what can be called the art of moving on, or at least knowing when to move on. I know what you're thinking, that is this really the theme of the film? Is this really what the film was trying to say? And I'm trying to argue that actually, yes, part of it was, and we're going to get deep into this. If you've seen the film already, then I'm sure you're thinking, how could that possibly be a theme? But we need to remember that this film makes us ask these critical questions to ourselves. That are we clinging to illusions? When does persistence turn into self-destruction? And the biggest of all, how do we decide who we truly are? So with all that discussion setting our foundation for where we're going to go in this video, I'd invite you guys to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I got plenty more videos on this channel just like this one. If you like movies, if you're a movie geek, I know you'll enjoy them. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first point that I want to talk about with you guys is the struggle between reality and illusion that this film puts in front of our faces. Because in Shutter Island, if you've seen it, if you haven't, huge spoiler warning because we're talking about the whole movie right now. But Teddy Daniels in the movie is on a mission, or so he thinks. He's searching for a missing patient, uncovering dark conspiracies, and piecing together a puzzle that no one else seems to even see is there. But here's the twist, and the movie makes it quite clear later on that everything he believes is an illusion. Teddy clings to a fabricated reality because the truth, his guilt, his grief, his pain is just too much to bear. And if we're honest, don't we all do this sometimes? Whether it's staying in a toxic relationship, yeah, I'm calling this all out right now, calling you out right now, holding on to that dream that no longer serves us, or refusing to accept change, we create these illusions to shield ourselves from what we see as harsh truths. And although I am a big believer in chasing your dreams and doing everything you can to accomplish your dreams, sometimes reality needs to set in. That's the unfortunate truth that we live in this world. For example, imagine being at a job that you've hated, you've dreaded coming in for years. You keep telling yourself, it'll get better, or it's not the right time to leave. But deep down, you know you're stuck there. And you cling on to that illusion that later, tomorrow, everything will be better. But if you don't do anything about it, if you don't actually face the reality, you will be stuck there forever. But actually, that's kind of a tough analogy for us to make for our daily lives, because if you have people depending on you, well, of course you can't just leave the job tomorrow. You know, you have some people, a family maybe, that you need to take care of. But the lesson that we need to learn here is that letting go of illusions and pointless dreams isn't about giving up. It's about freeing yourself to grow, to heal, and to move forward. In Shutter Island, Teddy's refusal to face this reality traps him on the island, both physically and mentally. The same can happen to us when we cling to what's comforting instead of confronting what's real. And either one of those choices are both pretty hard to make, and they come with the cost. Because if you continue living in this comfortable illusion, that comes with the cost of persistence. But if you start to confront what's real, well, that comes with the cost of surrender. And at its core, this movie, Shutter Island, is also about persistence. Teddy spends the entire movie chasing what he believes to be the truth. But here's the thing, that persistence can become self-destructive. That's because we've all been taught to never give up, right? But what happens when fighting for something comes at the expense of your own well-being? As I said before, I'm all for chasing your dreams, But psychologists have called this phenomenon the sunk cost fallacy. It's the idea that we stick with something even when it's hurting us, simply because we've already invested so much time or effort or money that we're not willing to give it up. Now, I'm no psychologist and I don't claim to be, but I think that's something we all need to think about, or we have thought about before. Maybe we had a relationship where we've tried everything to make it work, but nothing changes. Or maybe it's a business idea that's been draining your energy and finances. You keep telling yourself, I've come too far to quit. But in reality, you're sinking deeper into a losing battle. Now, I say this because, as we all know, we only get one life, and to be chasing something that hurts us in the one life that we get is just not worth it. But of course, I want to keep making the emphasis that chasing your dreams is a great thing. But the point I'm making is that knowing when to walk away is not failure either. That's wisdom. Because when you cut your losses like that, you're not giving up. You're choosing to invest in something better, your peace, your future, your happiness, something else that's greater in your life to come. And that goes hand in hand with the rest of this movie, which is the moral question dilemma of identity. This was probably the best scene in the whole film, which is the final words by Teddy when he does his final walk towards the guards. He looks over at Chuck and he says the words, "Is it better to die a good man or live as a monster?" At first glance, this line seems like it's just about Teddy, but it's actually a question we all face. How do we decide who we are? When life forces us to make hard choices, do we adapt to survive? Or do we stay true to ourselves no matter the cost? Now, I know that in real life, we're not making this kind of hard choices. I mean, maybe there are some people out there that are. But I do believe there's a lesson to be learned here, just like in every film, every creative art. Because think about the context of cutting your losses. Sometimes letting go means shedding an identity that we've held onto for years. Maybe you've always been the ambitious one, and walking away from a goal feels like losing that part of yourself. Or maybe you've defined yourself by a relationship or role, and letting go of that feels like losing who you are. But the truth is that change is not about losing yourself. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. And Teddy's final statement here is a heartbreaking choice, because it's both a surrender and a statement of identity. And in our lives, cutting our losses can feel the same. It's hard, it's painful, but it's also a powerful act of self-preservation. But here in real life, we don't make those kind of extreme choices that Teddy had to make in this work of fiction. So, what does Shutter Island teach us about cutting our losses? Well, first, it shows us the dangers of clinging on to illusions that might feel safe, but they hold us back. Second, it reminds us that persistence is only valuable when it serves our growth. And finally, it challenges us to redefine what it means to be true to ourselves. And at the end of the day, cutting your losses isn't about failure. It's about courage, the courage to face reality, to choose growth, and to let go of what's holding you back. So I'll leave you with this. What changes are you ready to make today to better your life? As always, Jesus loves you all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, this breakdown, I got plenty more videos just like this on the channel where we go through movies and their themes. If you're a movie geek like me, I know you'll enjoy them. And if you could leave a comment, let me know what you thought or your thoughts on it. Am I completely wrong? Let me know in the comments. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.